Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel. It is that special time of year, or one of a few special times of year actually, where everyone is on YouTube talking about their Sephora VIB sale haul. So I am no different, but I am a little bit late because as usual, I like to give all my products a little bit of a test so that it's less of a haul and more of like I'm showing you what I got and what I think of them after some somewhat rigorous testing, which is actually a good thing in this case. So you'll see a review and demos of everything in here, and I'm glad I did, or do in general, because there were some surprises in this bunch of products. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right in. Let's start on a high note. The first product I want to talk about is one that a lot of people have been talking about here lately on YouTube. It's been getting really popular. I've kind of been late to the game, so I figured there is no time like the present to hop in on it because it's an $80 palette, and so that 20% helps a lot. This is the Viseart Deep Matte Eyeshadow Palette. For those of you who have seen this in other videos, you're probably used to seeing the lighter version of this, where it's sort of more, it's kind of a wider range. You have light, mid-tone, and deep neutrals, where this is pretty completely colorful and pretty completely dark. But that's kind of why it caught my eye, is because I have never seen a palette with this assortment of colors, let alone a matte palette with this assortment of colors, so I just had to give it a go. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now, and I'll have a demo up and running right now. And just so you know, I am wearing the kind of lighter, more red leaning purple all over my lids. I applied that wet because one of the great things about these Viseart matte palettes is that you, or all of them for that matter, is that they are a wet dry formula. You don't have to worry about getting a cakey crust on these shadows if you dip your brush in water or spritz your brush with water, or I use the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Spray on my brush. You don't have to worry about your eyeshadow developing kind of a sheen over it that pretty much prohibits you from using the rest of the product unless you kind of chip it off. So I used that all over my lid. Then I went in with this bright orange color, which might be off-putting to some, but it's part of what made me fall in love with this palette. That is what I used in my crease. And then I went in with the, it seems deeper, but really it's more of just the blue-based kind of purple counterpart sitting in this palette next to the blue I put, or the purple I put all over my lid, and I placed that on my outer corner and in my crease. And then, because a few of you guys asked, I was wearing this khaki green down here and this deeper green and kind of an orangey shade in the last video that I uploaded, the Duper Dud. So a lot of you were asking, this is what it was. I have to say, I did not think this was going to live up to the hype. I thought there are so many matte shadows or matte palettes out there at this point, it can't be competitive. It is. It's a really great palette, and like I said, I have yet to see a palette, let alone a matte palette, with this configuration of colors. So if you can get your hands on this, I actually really recommend it. I think it's a high quality matte shadow palette. If you yourself aren't drawn to these deep dark colors, maybe go for the lighter matte palette. I can't really, having not swatched it and seen it in person, I don't know how unique the shade assortment is, because I do know that there are a lot of great palettes, matte palettes out there with that same look and feel. Not only is the shadow configuration really unique, but across the board, the formula itself, you know, for being a matte shadow, it isn't too dry, it isn't too flaky, it doesn't tug, it applies nice and evenly. When you use it dry though, there isn't any sort of inconsistency when applying it. It goes on nice and smooth, very easy to blend. Working with these textures, whether it was wet or dry like I did for this look where it's combined, they blended into each other really nicely and smoothly. It's just a top-notch formula. I can't complain with it, so it's worth the splurge in my book. Now onto a brand that I was less familiar with. I was definitely not aware that Sephora carried it, and honestly, part of how I picked the products that I wanted to purchase was I went through the brand section and I looked for brands that I didn't have a lot of experience with, had never heard of, hadn't tried any products from, and I landed on one called Shunga. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I looked online for pronunciation. There isn't a video on the Sephora website where someone is like saying the name. So I hope I'm not butchering that, but it's version 22 Shunga. I have a few products from them. The first of which I want to talk about is an eye palette, and it's called the Donggong Min Jello Color Kit, and it is a set of 6 eyeshadows here. It's in this tin palette, really nice and convenient, and when I was reading the description online, it struck me as very much of a ColourPop type formula. I love the weird cream gel texture that those are. I can wear them without a primer. I can wear them over powders, under powders. It's a phenomenal formula, but they don't have them in palettes like this. So I wanted to see if I could pick this guy up, if it was a comparable formula, and if so, recommend it to you guys. Unfortunately, I can't. It did not perform well on me at all. And I mean, with a primer, without a primer, I experienced some serious creasing and fading with these, which is so unfortunate because the color palette here is so beautiful. You have a light, like kind of satin cream, a light iridescent pink, a mid-tone rose, which looks beautiful in the crease. And I'll show a demo here of me applying them because they are really easy to work with. I think we'll be able to see that in the demo. Then there is a medium shimmery bronze, a deeper shimmery chocolate, and then a deep satin black. All of them are very pigmented. They swatch beautifully, they apply beautifully, but come around noon of a normal work day, it's not like I was outside running around putting these guys to a rigorous test, and it was crease city. I mean, it was bad. I haven't had eyeshadows wear like that on me in a very long time. So I'm just so sorry to say this did not work out for me. The next product though, same brand, I was kind of so-so on. This is the Bounce Up Pack Master with broad spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen. Once again, caught my eye because it's a foundation and it comes in it's kind of like those sponge foundations do, but it actually has more of that moussey ColourPop type formula. So got that thinking, wouldn't it be great to have that formula, and how soft and cushy would that feel on your skin? Amazing. And so I gave it a try. You can see it's pretty well sunken in. It was this nice beautiful dome when I got it, but has a sponge that lays over top like this, and that's what I use to apply it. I'll show a demo here. The undertone is a little bit ashy for me. I am in the shade 2 Ivory, and actually I'm not wearing it right now because I put some self tanner on this morning and did not realize how much it would bronze me up. So I'm actually using my summer foundation. This is way too light for me at this point, but even if it were when I was applying it and it was a little bit closer to my skin tone, I could tell that it does have a slightly cooler, more ashier undertone for my liking. Still, I was able to work with it, warm it up with some bronzer, and I like how natural and light it felt on my skin. It gave it a very soft satin, nearly matte finish that was really flattering. It kind of let my freckles shine through. It wasn't very layerable. I would kind of try and layer it up in places, and I could tell that the texture started showing up more than the coverage did. So it's not super layerable, but it does it evens out your skin tone while still allowing features like freckles to shine through, which is kind of nice if you're looking for more of a natural complexion. But the wear time was just so-so. I definitely noticed it developing some excess shine in my T-zone. I do have combination skin though, so those of you with drier skin types might not experience that. Oilier skin types this might not work for them at all. Long story short, this didn't really hit it out of the park for me in terms of wear and lasting power. The undertone was a little off for my skin, and so despite wanting to love it, I don't think this is going to be a product that I reach for all that frequently. Next up, once again, same brand, is a highlighter, and this is their 24-hour Ray Beam Cream. Saw that description on Sephora and was like, yes please, put it all over my face. And so I got it, and it is, first of all, I love the packaging. It's very similar in size, just like a typical compact size like the foundation, but you open it up and there's a mirror built into the lid here, a sponge right here, and it's one of those where you press and the product is dispensed through a hole in the center, which I love for just ease of application, sanitary purposes. I absolutely love that. The sponge, not so much, but you could throw the sponge out, use a brush, and it dispenses the perfect amount of product. You don't have to worry about like contaminating or getting bacteria into the other pristine product in here. Love it. Once I dispensed it though, I could tell it looked exactly like another highlighter that I have. So now it's time for a mini dupe or dud, and that is with Benefit's High Beam. So I should actually swap these around because, like in dupe or dud videos, I'm actually wearing the version 22 or Shunga on one side of my face, the right side here, and then I'm wearing the Benefit High Beam on the other side of my face. But for application, they're virtually identical. In fact, I would say that I prefer the version 22 better, kind of for dispenser purposes. It's much easier to apply here. It's a thicker cream formula, so you don't have to worry about a liquid kind of messing around any powder or thin liquid foundation you might have underneath. And then you don't have to worry about dipping a brush that you've put on your face back into the original packaging. Both are absolutely beautiful. Both made me realize that I have got to start wearing more pink undertoned highlighters now because I have been missing out. But both are pretty identical. So if you do have high beam, wouldn't tell you to go purchase this one and vice versa. Oh, but more about the actual product itself. It wears really, really nicely. I noticed the wear time is about the same. All day wear out of this. It doesn't make me look excessively shiny or oily. It has a very nice pink pearlescent finish. Not overwhelmingly pink, just like very subtle and natural. You can layer it up for some serious highlight, or you can thin it out for just a scintille, what word combination was that even? Simple, subtle, that's where we go. Subtle highlight on your cheekbones, but no one wants that. So you really can layer it up for some like ba-boom cheekbones, or you can mix it in with your foundation if you want an all over glow. Then the last products I'm gonna talk about, I've actually already mentioned in a video and have already hauled here on the channel. I love the brand Ardency Inn, and so I just didn't feel like I could do this haul without getting more from the brand. So I got some of their Modster pigments. I actually got 3, but one was busted. It was just open in the package. It wasn't broken, but pigment is everywhere in my Sephora box, so that one's gonna go back because quite a lot of pigment was lost. It was the black, it was like a black with some sort of metallic reflect, but the 2 that survived are Friendly Fire, which is this gorgeous kind of white, frosty white with a greeny yellow duochrome, and Bright and Social, which is an amazing gray with purpley eggplant reflect. Absolutely gorgeous. And I've talked about this, like I said, I've already hauled one pigment before, which I'm absolutely crazy about. It's called Teddy Boy. Super unique. It's a kind of maroony copper pigment with a blue-green metallic glitter kind of situation going on. Super, super beautiful, and what prompted me to buy more of these. If you are a fan of pigments, Ardency Inn happens to make happens to make very unique shades that I would highly recommend you checking out if you are a pigment fanatic like me. So that's it for my Sephora haul. I think I have talked long enough. I would love to hear what you guys have gotten either from the sale or otherwise. I'm actually gonna post this kind of around the Danger Zone Black Friday, like the shopping days. So if you're planning on picking any of these up or have your own shopping list, I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.